And so as it goes, there are more nits to pick. The more I pick, the more I ask myself, why do some of them even exist? Sure, napalm can fix many issues in my life, but not all. Still, what about Elite and many issues that I find in it? What are the things that could be improved? Now, there's a reason I can't stand mining and piracy. See, whenever I attempt to do one of these things, I also tend to forget to pick up those damn limpets. Then, right there on the spot, I look like a complete fool, especially while streaming. Yes, it makes for a really funny moment when I attempt to hatchbreak a trader and all my ship does at that point is just sit there cross-eyed dribbling saliva, waiting for me to actually do something useful. The feeling in this moment is equivalent to taking a dump and forgetting to pull down your underpants. It leaves you in a mess. So what I suggest is put limp and restock next to ammo restock on the starport menu. So after trying out joysticks, my personal one and other people's, I came to a conclusion. Mine is old and broken, while others work just fine. But one thing that still bugs me is the sensitivity. See, while mice has the sensitivity bar, joysticks do not. After using joystick with camera, it quickly became clear that I needed some sort of option to reduce or increase the rate of which camera is being turned by the joystick, and so it would be nice to have, at the very least, the sensitivity slider for joystick on camera options. And speaking of camera and sensitivity, another alternative I used was buttons as my camera yaw, pitch and roll. Unfortunately, they are digital signals, not analog, and this means either it's 0 or 100% turn rate. If I, for example, wouldn't have a joystick, it would be neat to have also a sensitivity slider for the button configurations. Overall, both of these suggestions would come in handy for those of us making videos. And one more thing about the camera. I've had several takes partially ruined by the fading text as you disable on-screen info for the camera itself. I know, programmers just want to make things look very pretty and stuff, but when it comes to a sudden capture, waiting for that half a second, for me is the difference between perfect shot and a ruined crap. Just remove fading, no one needs it. As I travel the galaxy, I tend to use neutron stars quite a bit, and boy oh boy is it fun to faceplant right into the star's exclusion zone as you attempt to scoop from it. Seriously, this is a constant problem for a lot of us. As you get closer and closer to the object, the collision line disappears as your ship starts moving slower and slower. So, for the objects that are rather small, yet has this huge invisible wall, this gets rather frustrating when you start ramming it constantly. So in short, I'd like to smash my face against the wall that at the very least I see constantly, not just when my speed is high enough. Right then, here's a rather longer term consideration for you UI designers. See, that one aspect of this game that attracted me was that you were able to do so many things from in-game menus. And when it comes to the same sort of immersion aspect you can witness in Dead Space games. I know, the game's graphical options and few other things should be in the escape menu, but as I go through all the options I realize there are some that could still be put in the game and would only benefit it. For example, options that dictate when specific side panels appear. In general, what I would like to see less as a player is the need to return to escape menu and be able to do more from my in-game panels. This creates the immersion, and this is the real kind of immersion, not the stupid buzz term immersion that the overpaid CEOs keep spouting in E3. Okay, yeah, this has been bugging me almost forever. Landings. Why do we need to land in a specific orientation? Why, at the very least, we can't land on landing pads in 180 degrees? Seriously, that would also remove the need for stations to constantly rotate them, thus saving some energy and reducing electrical bills. Is this just a case of, oh, we had this one programmer that created this complex system and now that he left the company, we don't know how to change or read his code without breaking the whole game? Or perhaps it's just a case of, because we said so. Now, go perform these needless actions because some cruel game designer wants us all to suffer. After struggling with piracy, I came to a conclusion. Interdicting someone, writing them a message, sending out a hatchbreaker limpet, and scratching my balls at the same time is really difficult, especially when it comes to player piracy. See, what I figured would be pretty cool to have is automatic message of, I don't know, 100 characters being transmitted to the interdicted player as soon as the interdiction is successful. And don't tell me this is not possible, because bots are already using this. Well, to an extent, so come on, add an option option to add an interdiction successful message. In fact, this would actually make interdictions a lot more fun in general, I think too. Okay, I'll shoot straight. We need a lot more storage space for modules. Anyone who has invested any time in engineering will know how precious these modules are and how little space we actually have. Currently, the alternative is to have these modules in our ships already. But when you actually need something specific and you are not at the station where your storage ships are, then you are screwed. Plus, even when you are, remembering which one had which parts is a task that only few dedicated ones will be capable of. So come on guys, especially with the new engineering coming, we need more module storage space. After all, power play items too need storing. And speaking of storage, how about some kind of better way of sorting these modules? In general, the drop-down list that we have as UI for everything is pretty bad. Yes, it works, but if you look into how MMORPG games have their inventories and banks set up, you notice how much more elegant and easy their inventory designs are. No, I don't want exact copies or whatever, but a drop-down list surely is the most simplistic and obsolete way of designing an inventory. Oh, and don't give me this, but consoles do need to use this. You know, there are successful UIs for MMOs created for consoles as well, right? And if we're honest, the current UI I would not call user-friendly either. Be that on the glorious PC Master Race battle stations or consoles. Right, and these would be my 10 quality of life suggestions for this time that I'd like to see made. As always, I try to keep most of them as grounded and doable as I can, but even I like to dream sometimes. And so, in case you have a suggestion as to what you would like to see being changed or improved, do feel free to post those suggestions down below. You never know who's lurking in those comment sections. Other than that, devs, you got your work cut out for you. As for everyone else, I'll see you in the black, working those joysticks raw. Right then, time to dock. Is this how you dock? Come on, dock already! Alright, landing gear. Come on, dock now! Alright, right, orientation. Come on, dock! I don't know what's wrong with this thing.